Hello, good morning. If anyone is here, welcome, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
We are doing Astro Insights Live, and my name is Jennifer Rose, and that is my sweet wife, Melrose, above me here. And in the middle are a couple of oracle cards, and I will read them in just a second while I'm just waiting to see how many people join us. And welcome, good morning. Welcome to Sunday morning, August 3rd, 2025. Whoop, whoop. How are you feeling today, Mel?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got a good night's
yeah.
sleep, and I've had a nutritious breakfast. I'm gonna go do some massages today. That's what I do, and
It's what you do.
I didn't hear that.
I said it's what you do.
It's what I do. I do. And then I'm gonna
Okay.
come home and spend the rest of the afternoon with you, Jennifer,
Yes, creating.
creating, making our
I love it when that
plans.
happens. Making our plans. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started officially,
Mhm.
Mel, and I'm gonna try an angle where I'm actually in the middle of this portal door behind me because that way I can just block off any of that energy that's coming through there. Anyway, just some Midwest woo for you this morning. So, welcome to Astro Insights Live. My name is Jennifer Rose, and above me is my sweet wife, Mel Rose, who's an intuitive astrologer, tarot card reader, and psychic. She's also a Reiki practitioner and a wonderful massage therapist located here in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome, welcome. Every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Mel and I get together and we do a little bit with the tarot and we talk about the astrology for the week ahead and, add in maybe a little bit of current events, a little bit of our opinions. And then around 30 minutes in, we do a tarot card reading. So if you're here for the tarot card reading and you're not wanting to hear us about the astrology, come back in about 30 minutes. But I really want you to. Anyhow, today is Sunday, August 3rd, 2025, and um, it's feeling like the last week of Mercury retrograde to me. It feels like I got so many things that want to draw me forward in literal sense, like signing contracts and all that kind of good stuff. Uh, so it's going to be interesting to see what works out, what doesn't work out, as we kind of unravel from this and what this week looks like as far as our communication is concerned and how Mercury is going to wobble back out and go forward into the atmosphere and how that's going to affect us at this time with all of the things that are going on that Mel is going to tell us about here in just a second.
Yay!
So I wanted to, hey, before you get started, I forgot. I wanted to say these are oracle cards, and this says Om, sweet Om. And is there a Cancer aspect happening? It was it Venus and Cancer?
Yes, Venus and Jupiter are in Cancer together right now. So,
Oh,
uh, yeah,
okay.
it is very home focused and it's good fortune. It's good fortune as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I
So
can get this number.
focus on what's good
Om,
for your home
sweet
and you will have some good
Om.
fortune of your own for sure.
Yes, we should make like a hippie version of Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home and do Om
Oh,
Sweet Om,
yes.
like
I
an
love it.
acoustic version.
I love it. We'll work that up for sure.
And then the other oracle is something so right about that. I mean, I agree with you, Oracle. I agree with you, Universe. I do agree. I agree. So those are the cards that I drew coming in, and I'm going to turn it over to Mel, who is going to talk to us about the astrology and such.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome back to Rose to Roan Astrology. Welcome to Astro Insights. We are here to discuss the week ahead in astrology. And friends, it's an impactful one. So let's get right into it. First of all, I want to say that today is Sunday, August 3rd, and the sun is in Leo and the moon is in Sagittarius. So sun and moon are in fire signs. They are vibing together in a positive way. It's very action oriented. Okay, so we might be feeling a little bit impulsive, but it also might just feel like it's easy to get what we want when we act on our impulses. So I'm always a try to think first, because if I don't try to think first, then I won't. But definitely some impulsive actions might actually pan out for us on a day like today. This week is Midsummer. That is the midpoint on our yearly trip around the sun between summer solstice and fall equinox. Okay, so we're halfway from summer solstice to fall equinox. And yesterday, Saturday, was the solar midpoint. So we get the lunar midpoint coming up Saturday the 9th. We have about a week of midsummer this year to celebrate. Whether you celebrate, the turning of the seasons for spiritual reasons, or whether you just take note of the turning of the seasons for for reasons of being aligned with the cycles of life that are natural here on earth, which includes our life cycles and the life cycles all around us. It's interesting to mark the midpoint, because this is going to be the time when the first leaves turn yellow and begin to fall. This is going to be when the cooler temperatures start to creep their way back in. We still get some hot temperatures, and then we get more cool temperatures. Fall begins in about just 6 weeks. So, and I know all of the fall babies are eagerly anticipating pumpkin spice season. I know Jennifer is.
I saw some pumpkin spice out in the wild yesterday, I think. I can't remember where it was, but I was like, yes,
Yes.
these people have it right. August 1st officially starts my birthday season every year for as long as I can tell. And it's always is
Folks,
like
there is a
a little bit of a
countdown.
bump in the
It's almost 50 days long.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But go on.
So, midsummer, that's where we are. And this turning point in the season is where we mark the first harvest. Apples and other fruits are ripening and beginning to fall to the ground. And I've been enjoying some very tasty tomatoes and cucumbers from my coworker's garden. Very yummy. So we celebrate the gifts of the earth, that the planet Earth, literally drops delicious food into our waiting hands this time of year. Okay. And there's some sweetness in that, just knowing that, the mother provides. Coming into the week, I want to remind us all that Mercury is retrograde in Leo through the end of this week, and that is going to be next Sunday. Today is Sunday, next Sunday. And the moon is in Sagittarius Sunday and Monday, moving on into Capricorn on Wednesday. And that's when all the real action starts this week. When the moon moves into Capricorn, um, it's happening the same day that Mars moves on into Libra out of Virgo. So Mars has been in Virgo, and we've been very process and policy oriented and trying to, get things lined out the way that we want them to be, like in a very active way. But now, and that has to do with like our goals and aspirations. Okay. And now we're going into Libra, and Mars wants to, I love that. Mars wants to take action, but in a way that's, really fair, very just, very balanced. We don't want to overdo it. So we can be a little bit judicious, right? Like thinking first before we take those impulsive actions. We can be a little bit judicious in taking our actions, so that we know that we're being fair, and not going too hard, or going with too light a touch. Okay, and then Mars ruled people at this time with Mars and Libra can be very charming and persuasive. So those Arieses and Scorpios that people with strong Aries or Scorpio, or first house or eighth house placements, those people are going to be very charming and persuasive right now. I happen to have an Aries sun. Are you convinced? Um, I see that you threw an Ace of Wands there, my love.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly kind of what you were talking about. Like, there's going to be all sorts of opportunities that come to you, um, including the opportunity to, have sex. So, if that's what you're wanting, it's really good to have a very frank discussion with anybody, a very open, honest, consensual discussion when you're doing that.
Hmm.
Just because there's a feeling of it doesn't mean that it necessarily has to happen,
Right.
and yeah, so I mean, there can be some satisfaction there. Just uh, make sure that everybody is in agreement with whatever it is that's coming in, and just remember that Mercury is in retrograde. So if there's something that you don't understand about the agreement, then ask the questions,
Yeah.
and just really talk frankly, candidly,
Hmm.
as much as you possibly can about the things that are regardless of what they are.
Yes. Yes. That is a very full speed ahead kind of vibe. It can feel like you want to rush into something. And, we start the week with that vibration today with the sun and moon both in fire signs. So we just want to keep in mind that there is a little bit of conversation to be had, a little bit of feeling your way and asking the important questions, making sure that whoever it is that you're interacting with, however you are interacting with them, that they're going, that it's going well for you, it's going well for them. That's the way to find the best wish fulfillment or satisfaction out of that situation. And it is midsummer, so I would imagine that there are a whole lot of babies being made right around now, or at least people practicing at it.
That Oh, that's annoying. But I agree. That's kind of what I was getting out of that. Like, I know that there's going to be, a lot of that happening, especially as the summer is winding down and there are already people moving into their dorm rooms.
Hmm.
Things are really just kind of going forward in that way right now.
Right,
So,
the social
you
lives are
know,
heating up now.
just yeah, the social lives are changing, heating up, looking a little bit different. Summer ending, summer beginning,
Hmm.
So yeah, it looks very positive though.
Okay, so just to recap, Mars in Libra goes into Libra on Wednesday. And when Mars is in Libra, we want to take actions that reflect our desire to be fair and diplomatic. Um, and the downside is, well, especially with Mars ruled people, saying that at this time, because Mars is in Libra, Mars ruled people can be really charming and persuasive. And there's a downside. Okay, so we can also be a little indecisive at this time, because we want to be fair. It's hard to just choose a thing and go forward like Mars likes to do. And passive aggressive behavior can come up. So I want you to be aware, especially if you're a person who leans on this a little bit anyway. I want you to be aware of a tendency to try to make a point through your actions, but without saying anything to somebody, like to show somebody how something felt or something like that. That's not the way we want to do things. Okay, if there's a problem, you need to just have a conversation. Um, you know, I think that's I think that's the bottom line there. Especially my friends, while Mercury is retrograde, we want to avoid that idea of trying to get a point across without being direct with someone. And naturally, with so many other, especially the outer planets in early degrees of new signs, Venus is also in early degrees of a new sign. Mars is going to have a talk with each of them now that it's freshly emerged in Libra. And these vibes are going to come together gradually over the weekend. The foundation of this is a grand trine in air signs with Mars in Libra. I'm making a triangle with Mars in Libra and with Uranus in Gemini and with Pluto in Aquarius. So Mars, Pluto, and Uranus are singing in like a three-part harmony. It feels a little not great. that like trines make things really easy. They make things really gracious. They allow things to happen very quickly. But when you're talking about Mars and Pluto and Uranus, we're talking about aggression. We're talking about assertiveness. We're talking about death and like un like irreversible change. We're talking about quick, surprising changes. So, that's what's coming up at the end of this week. And like, you know, I think I heard Channy say, just don't pack your schedule for the next week too hard. And I think this is really part of it because we've got some very challenging astrology coming up at the end of the week, second half of the week, starting Wednesday and moving in through the weekend. We're going to be facing some surprises and some challenges that we might not have been expecting. Furthermore, this I'm sorry, I thought I heard you, so I wanted to stop. Furthermore, this grand trine depends from a minor trine, so it's attached to another triangle on the chart that we've been dealing with already, and that's where the outer planets Neptune and Saturn are hanging together at the apex of a triangle with Uranus and Pluto. And we've talked about this recently as being an eye toward the future. Some of these planets are retrograde right now, so a lot of what's taking place in terms of being able to envision the future is taking place in a subconscious way, in a subterranean way. You have to allow sometimes just for your body and your psyche to process what it is that you're seeing before it can really float to the top and you know what it is that you're after. Okay, so I just want you to be aware of that. Like, yes, it is a time for envisioning the future. It's also a time for paying attention right now to what's happening because things are changing very quickly, and trying to be pliable, flexible, and capable of making your plans in light of the reality of the current situation. So what pulls the whole room together, though, you've got triangles and sextiles all over the place. It feels very, at least easy, if not super happy and positive. But then there's an opposition here between Mars, which is newly in Libra, and Saturn and Neptune, which are hanging out together at the beginning of Aries. So there's this strong undercurrent of conflict, anger, confusion, even some chaos. It may seem at the end of this week in some places, and I know that it already feels this way in a lot of places, like everything is going to shit. I wish I could say that, everything is going to turn around magically this week, but I don't think it is. The good news is, it'll be over soon. Karmic endings and beginnings, especially endings this week, are upon us, and the drama of it all can be quite a lot. So I want to remind you, not to let yourself get overwhelmed if you can avoid it. Like, stop and take some deep breaths. And when I say take deep breaths, I mean down, not into your chest, but all the way down into your belly. And you let them all out. Okay. You got to pause. You got to come back to your body. You got to come back to your own center before you move forward, because it can be very frustrating. It can be very upsetting and confusing. And we really just need to be like centered in our own personal guidance at a time like this, keeping ourselves safe physically, mentally, emotionally, making sure that at least I have what I need and at least the people around me have what they need.
I I found it interesting. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. We're in the Kansas City, Missouri area, and we are experiencing some dangerous, toxic air quality stuff right now because of some wildfires up in Canada. And yesterday I'd gone out and gotten a coffee and drove past the lake, and the sunrise was red or orange looking, like apocalyptic. And then I could see smoke on the water of the lake. And I was like, wow, what an accurate representation of Mars and Neptune
Mm-hmm.
right there. Just like bam, bam. And I thought, oh, is that for the week to come? Like,
Yeah.
is that, we got to keep our fiery Mars, kind of reined in. And then we also had to make sure that the things that we're hearing, the things that we're saying are accurate, that we're seeing things appropriately. And if you are not understanding something, this is the time to ask the question right away.
Mhm.
Don't let it get away from you,
Yeah.
right? So that was my omen yesterday for, going forward,
Mhm.
maintain your cool, stay grounded, and make sure you're understanding what you're hearing and seeing and reading, and ask the question.
Especially before you act on it. Especially before you act on it. Make sure you understand the question before you try to answer it. Make sure you understand the problem before you try to solve it, okay? Yes.
Mhm.
So then
Okay.
on Thursday, the moon moves on into Aquarius, and we have our full moon in Aquarius on Saturday morning. Um, all that we just discussed is happening while all of this is happening. So Mars is opposing Saturn in the background, and Saturn, which is retrograde in Aries, rules this full moon in Aquarius. So there is a potential for some very challenging, frustrating, aggravating energy to come up, especially if you're feeling resistant to some changes that you perceive happening. It could be unpleasant and even perhaps an explosive time. And I just want to be really out front with you about that. We really are challenged to go with the flow of changes right now. I can say for myself, for Jennifer and I, like Venus moved into Cancer last week, which is really a good fortune thing. And Venus and Jupiter are in Cancer together, and that's a very good fortune thing. And the day that Venus moved into Cancer, somebody offered us something of really great value. It's almost like an opportunity we can't refuse. So, you know, that good fortune comes along. But then I'm very resistant because I'm like, oh, we seem to get these opportunities when Mercury is retrograde, and I don't want to commit to anything while Mercury is retrograde. But really, the vibe for this week, the end of this week, is if you're not flowing with the changes that you see coming, then you are going to have a, a frustrating, difficult time, and you're going to wind up kicking yourself. Okay. So if you see changes coming, you got to try to open your arms wide to them. You got to try to be accepting of what the changes are, and like really just think about the next steps for now.
I just wanted to interject here because we had those Jupiter aspects last week. And I had said that I lived on my Jupiter line. And this should be a very positive experience for me. I had a lot of positive experiences last week, including winning a couple of tickets to a
Yeah.
concert. Uh, and we had this awesome opportunity that fell into our laps, and it just kept happening like over and over and over again, especially on Wednesday. I was blessed with pies.
You got
Like,
free pie, right? And you
no,
won
right?
dollars on the lottery ticket?
Yeah, I won the lottery ticket. It was just like all these small, tiny little glimpses of like
And your
stuff. And
thrift
then
store
we
find?
go and we have this meeting, and it was just, yeah, my thrift store finds.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was just like everything just kind of opened up for me and was just like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to show you a path. And it's just about, being patient, about following through until after that Mercury. Yeah.
Ah,
Mercury. Yeah.
right.
All right, I'm
Okay,
done.
so full moon on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And full moons are a time of culmination. So whatever that it is that comes to a head on Friday and Saturday and Sunday of this week, which we've discussed can be frustrating, it's something that's been brewing for a while. So it should not surprise us too much. Like it might be like a, but it's not like a, oh, I never imagined that could happen. It's more like, oh, well, I didn't think that would happen now, or I didn't think it would happen exactly that way. Not to say that it won't be surprising. In the long run, though, it is for the sake of collective progress. Most of what is happening on the chart this week is very easy and positive. It's just between planets that have challenges together. So that's really what we're looking at. And then a Mars opposing Saturn, which is truly a challenging aspect. Still, the resistance to change is not going to work at this time. We have to move with the current or sort of get dashed against the rocks. And then the moon moves on into Pisces on Saturday night. Jennifer has a moon in Pisces. My moon is in Aquarius. Moon moves into Pisces this Saturday night, which should ease the intensity of like Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So take some time this Saturday and Sunday to rest and take care of yourself to the best of your ability. See that Hanged Man card says like just relax and take it all in. Sunday is the last full day. Next Sunday is the last full day of Mercury retrograde, and by next week we will be past most of this year's biggest challenges and just ready to process and integrate what we've learned and move forward on our new projects. So,
Right. And
yeah.
yeah, I love the hangman card for, like what you were saying. It matched exactly what you're saying. And I just asked, for the Pisces moons, like what energy, like what is the energy we should take right now with this moon coming up? And given the fact that we're all going through something this week, like we're going to be going through something this week, it's going to be a little bit of a back and forth. It's going to be a little bit of a wobbly situation in some way, shape, or form in your
Mhm.
life. And then, we're going to have a chance to just kind of, settle down and like you said, take it all in,
Yeah.
see it for what it is, and take a rest from
Mhm.
it too. Like just to put it away, keep it at the forefront of your mind. Yeah, and then you just got to
And
keep
then it'll be a
going.
fresh
Like
start.
it will be a fresh
Yeah.
start for sure. So I'm looking for a lot of fresh starts. I'm unfortunately looking for a lot of endings, and I've also predicted a bunch of these natural disasters and these celebrity deaths that have happened. I've predicted as well. So it's been Pisces moon next weekend. Remember your dreams and make sure you get plenty of rest and water to drink that
Mhm.
day.
And then I just want to say that for the week after this one, the next week, uh, that's when Venus has her conjunction with Jupiter. So that's going to be a very positive,
Mm.
auspicious. I think it's Nadia that calls it the most romantic day of the year. It's very positive, and it's in a
Oh,
good sign for both of them in Cancer. So, really, that's the day to be really uh, opening up to the blessings, right? So after we've had this struggle bus of a week, which it is going to be, I'm sorry to say, a little bit challenging after we've had this week and we get through that full moon in Aquarius where Saturn is being challenged, and so it might feel very frustrating and challenging. We get a chance with the moon in Pisces to relax and reflect and let things go. And then on Monday Venus is going to conjunct Jupiter, so that's when the blessings really start rolling in. That's when we really start seeing the bright side of things next week. So
oh, okay. You mean the
the
following week?
following week, yes. Thank you.
Right. Mhm. Yeah, I was trying to think of the dates, but I can't do math in my head right now for some reason, especially with the calendar. But what is that? So that's the 22nd, maybe the 17th, 16th, 17th of August.
Well, no, where are we? Yeah. Jupiter is going to conjunct, Venus and Jupiter are going to conjunct on Monday, the 11th.
Oh, okay. Monday the
Yeah.
11th. All right, I'm going way far ahead.
Yeah. That's like a week and a day out. So just wanted to give you guys that
I got
heads
you.
up.
Right, right, right. Okay.
And that's it. That's the astrology. You know, when I know I have challenging times coming up, what I have to tell myself is to slow down and follow through. Focus on the one thing that is my priority right now and do my best to complete it and then move to the next thing that is my priority. And really try to, I mean, and I have to try. I'm a little bit hot-headed by nature, so I have to try to remain calm. I have to remember to be kind with my words and my
Mhm.
attitude and my demeanor. Honestly, it just provides the lubrication that we need to get along with each other sometimes. Just to remember that you're dealing with another person who is also probably struggling a little bit, and give them what you'd like to receive in terms of kindness and respect.
I agree with that. It's and also be kind to yourself. You know,
Yes.
don't expect yourself to know all the details right now. Don't expect that you're gonna figure everything out.
Right.
You know, to the right now. Just give yourself some time and space and some grace to figure some things out. And it's going to be really imperative that you are so grounded and in the moment, because this is where we miss our blessings.
Hmm.
Um, we have to be open and available to them. We have to be able to not only absorb but react to. We have to go after those things that we're wanting. Okay, and in this energy, it takes less of our energy to go after that thing, because it's just going to open itself up. And if we have the bravery, if we have the being here now, if we have that mental fortitude that we're right here and we're listening, we're paying attention to one another, you will figure it out, and it will be, I think, a really great blessing. And even if it's not like a great blessing right there, like, don't get me wrong, it might not just be like, ooh, a spark. But somewhere down the
Hmm.
road, like, the spark is going to start
Seeds
something.
are getting
These are
planted
these
right
are
now.
sparky.
Yeah.
Yes, right. So, seed.
Seed.
All right. So we're shifting to the tarot reading portion of our Astro Insights Live. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think in the chat. And hit that notification bell, because our channel is under construction right now, and after Mercury is out of retrograde, we will be able to fill you in on what more is coming soon to our channel. So we don't have a real set schedule right now, except for we will be here every Sunday at 10 a.m. and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Though we missed last Thursday, sometimes it does happen. That's what we had to do in order to accept our blessing, though.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we had to sacrifice a little, and we're sorry. We won't continue to sacrifice you, but you'll understand why soon.
Yeah. Soon. It's coming
All
up. All right. So for my first card today is for Mars and Libra, and I want to ask that I want guidance for taking action for justice.
Okay.
Ten of Swords. So, guidance for taking action for justice. You know what this reminds me of is like remembering who your friends are, especially, like when Mercury is retrograde, people can come back around from the past, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's like, oh, there was a reason I was not around this person for so long, and although I'm happy to see them, I know I can't rely on them for one reason or another. So, I think that this is about like being really honest with ourselves about about the impressions we have of people, or the experiences, especially that we've had with the people. Don't, like Maya Angelou said, when somebody shows you who they are, you have to believe them. So that's what this card always makes me think is like, well, now you know who your friends are not. So you know guidance for Mars in Libra, let's not take let's not what do I want to say? Mars and Libra, guidance for action toward justice, um, has to do with putting behind us old ideas about how things should be done.
And I'm not saying that I I hope this is going to come across the right way, but Mars and Libra, um this is also not the time to be like overly emotional or dramatic about the going forward, right? It's really about finding that temperance, that balance that Libra knows
Mhm.
how to do.
Yes.
It is ingrained in every single one of us
Mhm.
if you've got it. And
Yeah.
so, it's time to get out of those past hurts. It's time to get out of our heads and what we've created and even the actual things that have happened to us and take this opportunity to move it forward in a different way, to transform it, to make it something different, more positive, because this is our
Mhm.
chance. And in the next year, if you take that opportunity and you curate it properly and you put the correct energy and intention into it, it's just going to continue to bless
Yeah.
you with abundance.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, so there's a little bit like that Mars and Libra, it's like drying up the emotions about it. Like, yes, I feel things about this, but I'm gonna be really practical.
Right. Like don't, study on each individual thing. It's not time to like rehash all the stuff,
Right.
right? It's just really not that time now. It's really time to move forward.
Mhm.
It's not time to worry about what anybody is going to think or feel or what they're going to do or if they're going to be the same person that they were in the past. It's time to understand that everybody's going through a new cycle here. A Fool card came up earlier,
Yeah.
and there's new opportunities. And if we don't grab them right now, if we don't see it and grab it, I think what I I don't know what the aspect is, but it may be like 12 or 13 years or something that it comes. We're in some aspect for 22 years
Uh-huh.
too. So we've got this amazing, stuff. We have like a year or more of astrology that says we can do it together with love,
Mhm.
in the age of Aquarius. And then, we also have this other aspect is like, so when we get that done, we're living with this for 20 some odd years,
Right.
right? Like this is what we're building for the next 20 years. And for me as a 52-year-old person, that means I'm
Right.
72 in 20
Right.
years. And so I've got a lot to think about where that's
I gotta
concerned,
think
like my
about where I'm
healthcare,
putting
where
my
I'm gonna
energy,
be.
what I wanna see happen at the end of 20 years for me. Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah, in all the ways. So this is just a really unique time, I think, in life, and I think that we're gonna see a whole lot of, um, it's just a renaissance of
It
sorts.
is. It is. So that's Mars and Libra, and the guidance is let's put the old shit behind us and make room for the new. Definitely in the
Right.
astrology right now, there's a lot of change and there's a lot of like not really having good outcomes if you are resistant to the change that's coming. So if you see a change coming, if you know you're being called to make a change, now is the time to make a change. I'm
A change
I'm not always
to
happy
be
about change.
good.
I'm easier about change than I used to be, and I'm easier about change than some other people. I'm not always like gleeful to have to make a change, but I really just want to do what seems logical and heart centered. I want to do the loving thing. So, uh,
Me too.
you know, that involves sometimes doing the loving thing is forgiving, which means just putting something behind you, starting over.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, so then the other card I want to pull is for that challenging full moon in Aquarius at the end of the week. Now remember, Mars is opposing Saturn, and Saturn rules that full moon in Aquarius. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a little bit. It has the potential. Okay, I'm going to say it has the potential to be a little bit abrasive. But with that, Saturn and Neptune are conjunct together. So again, Neptune's providing a little lubrication here to make things a little bit easier. Saturn can be kind of stern and difficult and very challenging, and either challenging you to overcome obstacles or challenging you to put up obstacles. uh, and then Neptune is more imaginative and free flowing and loving and spiritual. So there is a sense of spirituality to the to the things that we're building right now, the practical stuff, the practical progress that we're trying to make. And with Mars opposing that Saturn and Neptune together, it's just interesting to see how that's going to work. It can be a little bit challenging, it might be a little bit scary, but I really think that Neptune being involved there might really help us step our game up. So
I want to say, just looking at this, what I typed in there, full moon in Aquarius with Mars opposing
Mhm.
Saturn. That is, if ever I heard of it, I fought the law and the law won.
Yes. Yes.
So if you want to fight with the law, just know they're going to win this time.
If
Okay.
you're gonna
Like
fight the
they're
law, make sure
very
you know who.
emboldened.
Sorry, baby.
Yeah. No, they are emboldened right now. They are available for the harassment and to harass. And yeah, this is the time you want to FAFO with some systems or literally with people. This will not go in your favor, I don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So cool your tool, like my mom would say. Chill out. Chill. Just chill.
So let's pull a card for that day.
Yes.
Saturday when the full moon in Aquarius, excuse me.
Do it.
Four of
Do
Pentacles. Let's be practical. Let's be a
it.
little bit conservative. Sit on what you've got. Pay attention to what you've got. Like, full moon is a time of culmination and a time to start letting go. But let's not get, extra spendy about it at this time. We want to be a little more practical than that. We want to be a little more grounded than that. And maybe if there's ever a time just to sit still through something, it's something like the last few days of this week, seriously. To really,
Mhm.
for my meditators out there, this week is a great time to be really getting into your meditation zone. Um, and however it is, even if you're not a meditator, however it is that you get into your peaceful place and feel grounded and feel protected, like you at least have what you're going to need, this is the week to do it.
Yes, I'm already vibing with that vibe. I have been lately. I have rheumatoid disease, and I've not been able to do my morning walkies like I've been doing. I've have a foot flare issue, and so instead I've been grabbing a coffee and just driving through the lake and watching the sunrise and such. Why did I say that? You said something that made me start talking about that. Oh, just kind of conserving your
Yeah.
energy, and I'm a water moon, and it makes me happy to see the water contained and to know that it can still ripple, it can still wave, it can still move, but it doesn't have to necessarily like, flood the whole street while it's doing so, you know. And so I like that, and it's a pretty powerful message. And uh I think maybe it's just a reminder for me to keep everything in check, um like literally the feet, the pentacles there on the feet, like keep yourself grounded. And the pentacle over your heart,
Hmm.
in your head is really about just not worry about it, because it really is going to change so much from where you thought it was, that you're going to put all that energy into that when you could be building that new thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And saving your pennies right now is necessary too, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm just going to have to say, no, I'm not hoarding toilet paper, but the toilet paper that we normally buy went up $7 in a 24-hour time period because of the tariffs on August 1st. And I was amazed at how quickly they were to just bloop
Hmm.
change those prices, even though we know they're sitting on stock.
Yeah.
And I've seen all sorts of things. So if you're into chocolate, coffee, I'm telling you, these things are going to go way up in price to where some of us can't afford it. And I'm not
Well,
telling you to buy it out. I'm telling you right now, if you love coffee and you can't do without, go buy an extra bag of your favorite brand, because there's just a lot going on there, and we're really going to be priced out of a lot of things that we think that we can't do without, but we're quickly going to find out what it is
that
that
we
we can
really.
be like, ah, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. Yeah, I said I'm going to quit smoking when cigarettes become $5 a pack, and they're nearly $10 a pack
Yeah.
now. You know,
And I
Woo.
would I want to point out that that toilet paper that we use is made in the US and still the price went up $7. So don't think that the tariffs aren't hitting products that aren't tariffed. because the manufacturers of those things are
Yeah.
still using stuff that's tariffed. So, or
Hmm.
or
Yes.
maybe it's just an opportunity for people who sell this stuff to chunk the price up anyway. I don't know the
Hmm.
economics of it very well, but I can tell you that the toilet paper we use is made in the US and it still went up $7.
Yes. So just, again, don't blow your savings on something right now. This is
Mhm.
not the time to do that.
Yeah.
Um, it really is a time to conserve in all ways and just let see how things go, because this tariff thing is even like tomorrow Trump could change his mind about it all. And like, and so our markets are going to fluctuate because of this. Like there's just going to be some uh, and we just gotta keep our saliva in our own mouths when we and know that it's just all gonna be over with. Just hang in there like you're on a roller coaster. Just hang in there. It's gonna end, and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Just hold on tight. Stay grounded. Keep your butt in the seat, and we're gonna be just fine.
And like I said, by Tuesday of next week, Monday, Tuesday of next week, most of our biggest challenges for the year are past us, okay, or we are past them. So, it's not as though we aren't still dealing with those challenges or the repercussions of those challenges, but we really get the rest of this year at least to just sort of integrate what we've learned and pick up the new stuff that we're working on. Justice card, balance from
Yeah,
balance.
I just drew one. On the we have a little bit of a delay. Yeah, I just drew a card for the out since we drew the second card. And what is the reward for good behavior next week? And my Libra heart loves a little bit of justice, because that means maybe I get a treat of some sort, or maybe it is that I get the rest that I want, or maybe it is that I'll take that time and, treat my toenails, or whatever it is that,
Mhm.
is going to happen. If you are true to yourself next week, and you're really kind and compassionate to yourself and everyone else, it's really going to come into your life, and you're going to be able to balance so much better than you have. You're really going to learn something about yourself this week.
Yeah.
So just give yourself the time and space, and allow a little bit of extra time everywhere you go, for
Mhm.
maybe even a little extra interaction, good, bad, or ugly.
Mhm.
And just take it in stride, and just know that uh, this is just
Take it
temporary.
easy, friends, for real. Real. Take it easy
Mhm.
this week.
Yes.
Next week's gonna look so
Yes.
much better.
Hmm. Awesome. Thank,
Yeah, so I think that's all we have for you guys this week. I hope that it was clarifying and helpful. Feel free to let us know in the comments how things are going for you right now and how things go for you next week when we show back up next week on Sunday to talk about the good news of the week after that.
mm. Yeah, so my psychicness says a lot of good things are coming for our channel. So we're so glad that you're here supporting us, and we appreciate the support and love you show us. And by watching our videos, by subscribing, by commenting, by sending us emails, and by allowing us to read cards for you and share this time and space with you every time that we go live, or every time we put up a video. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And next week, take care of yourselves. And next week, we will be back at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time to do Astro Insights, to talk about the following week, and to talk about maybe anything that's happened this week. And we hope that you will join us then. And this Thursday, we should be live to do a little yes or no tarot. So if you're looking for some questions and answers from tarot for free, come over here and check us out. And we do that kind of showdown style. Mel will pull a card, and I'll pull a card, and we do a little
Yeah.
taroses. So Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us here at Rose Trone Astrology. We appreciate you so much. Mel, thank you so much for your astrology advice and your intuitive guidance. We appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you, Jennifer, for your intuitive guidance as well.
All right. We'll see you in the next video,
Much love,
friends.
friends. Catch you in the next one. Have a great week.